Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming to Deb Chanel's 48 World, where we do the young and the restless. Yes, I had been missing some episodes, but today was popping off like fresh popcorn. I had to go back up there and look at some past ones to see how we got up to Colin using Jill's money and just squandering all of it. Yes, she went from sugar to shit. I don't know how long it took her to have gotten there because Colin stole her money, but it is what it is. Let's get on into the first session. The first scene we have Jill is in the hospital, and Billy and Esther are there by her side or her bedside, and they just looking at her like she's at death's door, and she looking at them like they crazy. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Why am I here? Like she has forgotten everything. Like she got a slight amnesia thing going on. But when somebody take your money, I guess you would be bad as hell. But anyway, we have Colin is calling Jill, and she's not answering her phone. Her left arm is kind of weak, so they said she pretty much had a heart attack. So I guess everything gets kind of failing you at that moment. Then we have Kane has come over to see his dad, Colin, at Jill's estate, and Colin breaks down and tells him what he did to Jill. And he just can't believe his dad is still up to his old tricks. I mean, he couldn't take some of her money, one third of her money. Hell, he took all of it and squandered it. Now she's just not up with the rich and famous no more. Okay, then we have Lily comes over to see Kane at the the office complex they have that's in a lab type of structure area. But she runs into Victoria instead, and they have little small women or woman to woman talk going on. Then we have Nicholas. He's looking at the club numbers and he's very excited. Very excited about that new fresh new revenue stream with him having open bar night. He tells his son Noah, good job. He's proud of his efforts he had as far as turning the club's financial situation around, even if it was in a slow spot. But Nick got money, no long days. His dad is Victor Newman. So what is he really worried about? Okay, anyway, Nicholas is telling Noah he's been hanging out with Chelsea. And at some point during that storyline, it seemed like he was wondering, why are you hanging out with her? You should be back with mom. But he understands the scenario and he wished his dad well about her. Then we go to Victor. Victor tells Nikki he's getting the family back together again and having another family dinner. And Nikki starts to get worried and starts wondering why. We just had one a few weeks ago. What's going on now? You having something big you need to tell all of us? And he says, no, I just like having dinner with my family. That's all. So we go to commercial, we come back. We have Victor is explaining that it would be nice to get the family back together again. And, there's nothing wrong. He just missed his family. So then we go to Noah. Noah wants to hear more about this Valentine's date at the bar that Nicholas was telling him. And Noah says he's glad to see him, getting with someone if it's not his mom and whatnot. And him and Chelsea hooking up. That's a great thing. And then he says, oh, but look who's behind you. Chelsea has dropped by with donuts. All righty then. Then we go to Lily. Lily's talking small talk about Kane and his position with the company and how Lily views his position. And she just said, just tell your husband pretty much he got to follow in line. If he don't want to get in line and know I'm the one that's steering the ship, he has to go, pretty much. So she don't know whether she should stay with the being the brand ambassador of their new cosmetic line or not. But she signed contracts, so she should know she locked in. But anyway, we go to Kane. Kane is fussing with Colin about taking Jill's money and what was he thinking and this, that, and the third. And is that the reason she got sent to the hospital and all of this? And Colin just looking like a little chicken with his head cut off. Then we got Jill is thinking she was heart. We got Jill in the hospital thinking she has heartburn from what what's her name? Stitch had told her she was suffering from. But it also mimics heart attack symptoms as well. But I guess he missed that. Should we say lawsuit? But no. Anyway, everyone is thinking it's more than that. When the doctor finally comes in and tells Jill, yes, indeed, she actually had a heart attack because she has a heart disease. Don't let them get down anymore. Excuse me for that, y'all. Dog fussing and fighting in the kitchen. Okay, and so basically, the doctor tells her she has heart disease. She has 60% of some of her arteries blocked, and she indeed, in fact, have a heart attack. And that's why it was very imperative that they thought as quick as they did by bringing her straight to the hospital because it could have been fatal. They will leave that situation. We come back. Jill is fussing at the doctor. Bill and Elsa telling them they crazy. She feels just fine. It's heartburn, this, that, and third. She said anybody would have a heart attack if that's indeed what happened to me because this joker stole all my money. She talking about her husband. She calling him stupid too. And nothing else. And that she's not at death's door at this moment. Go to commercial. We come back. We have Chelsea, Nick, and Noah are sitting down at Nick's club eating donuts. Like, they ain't got nothing else to eat, but she explains to him that she had writer's block or she had dressing made because she's a designer of dresses and she knows how to sew. But she just had blockage and she couldn't think straight. So she said, okay, I'll go get me some carbs or some sugar and it might open my creative juices again. I can start flowing. So, of course, Nicholas gonna say, well, you could have called me. I could have worked you through all that and we didn't have to have all these empty calories. I'm like, yeah, Nick, whatever you say. So Nick goes on to tell Noah that Chelsea was making some mean type of alcohol beverages on Valentine's Day, and he just can't believe it. So he challenges Chelsea to a taste test of alcohol. Who makes the best drink? Okay, then the doctor is explaining to Jill about women and heart disease and heart attacks. The doctor talks to Billy and Esther about how to take care of Jill's health from this point on. Jill is scared of what the doctor has told her, and Billy knows. Billy tells the doctor he needs to be alone with his mom for a moment, and the doctor excuses herself. Then we have Colin ask Kane for money. Like, really, Colin? Really? Kane tells Colin if he doesn't have the money, and if he did, he would have bought Brash and Sassy. We go to commercial, we come back. We have Chelsea and Noah are competing with one another to tell who makes the best alcoholic drink, and they can have bragging rights, I guess, for a year. Who knows? So both of them go into making their concoctions while Nicholas is timing them both, and he's going to be the test tester to tell them both who can make a mean drink. Okay? Mean is being good. And then we go back to Lily and Jordan, a photographer friend of hers, are talking about how her photos are not appealing enough, and he knows she could do better work than what he caught on film on her from working with her in the past. And she goes in to tell him, what happened with her and Colin on Valentine's Day and a big argument, and he couldn't buy Brash and Stash and this, that, and the third. And he said, well, if he's a man, he wouldn't worry about, all of that, and he would want you to quit something you love so much. And then we go to Victoria. Victoria comes over to see her dad. She's very proud of what she's done. She's had opportunity to buy her company back, Brash and Sass, and she's thanking Victor for giving her the inspiration and the motivation to do it because we already knew she had the money. Okay, and if she didn't have it all, then Victor would have gave it to her. And Victor and Nikki are there. They're hugging her and thanking her or being gracious with her about her accomplishments. And they're very happy that she got a chance to get her baby back. Then we go back to Lily. Lily's telling Victor, wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, Lily is telling Victoria that Kane wasn't happy and Billy wasn't. No, Lily, no, okay. What's her name? Victoria is telling her dad that Lily and Kane wasn't happy with the situation because she don't know where she really fits in at all by her husband being blindsided with her buying the company instead of it being or belonging to all three of them. And she don't know if she could continue working for them. And Kane is not happy, but hopefully Lily can talk him into becoming happy, or he got to jump ship. He got to go where he got to go. And of course, Billy wasn't really that happy at the end because she found out that you had a part in telling me to, secure the company back, lock, barrel, stop. What do you call it? Lock, barrel, and stop, barrel, and lock. Whatever y'all call it. When you got the shit sold up together and you just finished with it. It's a finished product. It's a done deal. Lock, stock, and barrel. That's what it is. Lock, stock, and barrel. And he was okay with it when she was doing it for herself. But when he found out that her dad had a little part doing it, he wasn't that happy. with her arranging and how she acquired the company back. And Victor was like, fuck him. And when you gonna get rid of him? You got rid of Kane. That was a loose end. Now you need to tie him up and send him to the trash side of the curb so the garbage people can come get him too. And of course, Nikki didn't like what he said. Victoria like she can handle Billy, and it just is what it is. So Victor's trying to set the record straight with Nikki and Victoria because, they both were having like a sidebar conversation about how men really don't look at women as a strong equal when it comes to making decisions in the business world. And, Nikki said, well, yeah, Victor, you was kind of like that too. And Victor got hot on the collar about that. Like, I didn't do all that. And she said, yes, you did. You played your daughter against your son. And you're still doing it to this day. And he got mad. He saw a different shade, but Nikki was not backing down. I was like, go ahead, Nikki, throw that punch on out there. It hit him in the gut because he couldn't take that one. So anyway, he gets up and starts talking. Like he got to go to a meeting, but let it be said, he never uh, put his children against one another. And then Victoria gonna say something sly like, yeah, but you hard on me and Adam. You wasn't that hard on Abby and Nicholas. And woo, it hit another spot with Victor. But anyway, Nicky toned down and Victoria pretty much toned down so he could have his way. Because he wasn't leaving that office or he wasn't leaving his home until he got both of them women straight. That he not no chauvinist pig. He ain't no chauvinist. And Nicky just like, okay, this is a battle I ain't finna have with you. You can have it. Moving on from now, we go to Kane and Lily. They're talking about Crimson Lights. Well, they're at Crimson Lights and they're talking. And this big elephant is in the room, and the elephant is the point that he didn't have the money to buy Brash and Sassy, so he can make and call the shots. And then how they left off yesterday with him going off on her about how everything started or how she got her job, and he didn't want her to be in the modeling, and he was just feeling sorry for himself because he couldn't acquire the company, and so she was taking out a lot of heat on him, and then he left her in bed, and she woke up and he wasn't there, so she was feeling some kind of way about that. So they kind of was talking with each other. He said he was sorry, and then she started saying she was sorry. Then he goes on to say what his dad Colin had did to Jill, which took all her money, and that's why he had to leave and not tell her, wasn't there when she woke up the next day. Because his dad had called him and wanted him to come by. And that's what he found out. And so, I'm not Victoria, but Lily looking there with her mouth open like, what? I can't believe your dad did this again. Anyway, we go to commercial, come back. We have Noah ask Chelsea to join him. We have Nicholas asked Chelsea to join him to this family dinner that Victor is giving once again. And Chelsea says she don't really want to go, but I guess she will go. And she does go on to tell, yes, she'll be his date for tonight's dinner. Then we go to Nick, and Nick having small talk with Victoria prior to her leaving about not being like her dad, not seeing things, until she get an old woman, ain't got nothing else to do in her life no more. And she starts acting like a normal person should have been acting all their life. So she's saying, don't make the same mistakes your daddy made, with doing business and this, that, and that, because it ain't all about business. It's about, retaining friendships as well as family members, and you treating them as such and not like as something you need to acquire, something tangible. So she kind of understood what her mom was saying, because in the business world, you got to have both of them, but it's not good to work with family or friends that you care about because things tend to happen that way. Okay, and then we go to Lily. Lily's telling Kane how does he feel about her staying with Victoria and the company and still doing her modeling career. And Kane don't like the part that she working with Jordan, a past possibly lover. Lily might not be telling them that, but I think they did have a relationship, or somewhat of a little flame. And Kane, he don't like that part of it, but he told her, sure, I want you to stay modeling. That's something you love. You still should do it. But he just don't trust Jordan and how she pretty much keep confiding in him instead of coming to him and discuss their issues. Then we go back to the last and final scene where Jill didn't tell Kane about, because Kane get to the hospital and he wants to see his mother without calling his father. And she goes on to tell him what, this, that, and the other. But she didn't tell Kane that she had a heart attack because she didn't want to worry him on already the stress he's worried about why, he couldn't get the company because he didn't have the money or what was being offered to buy the company. and he was still upset about that, so she didn't put that on his plate. And Billy comes in, and because Kane left, and I don't know where he went, and Carla's still out there running somewhere in the hospital because Billy chased him out. But he's telling his mom, Billy's telling his mom, she got to act right. She can't be stressed out no more. She got to let some of this shit go. She got to take the test because they need to know how bad these arteries are. And she's going to do whatever the doctor tell her to do so she can live a long and prosperous life. And so she hugs Billy. They hug each other. She's scared. He's scared. And he just pretty much told you got to face this fear and we'll be there with you. So that's pretty much what happened on Young and the Restless today for February 16th, Thursday. We'll get back with you tomorrow for more Young and the Restless recaps and reviews, guys. Take it easy. Bye-bye.